Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having a great day. To start things off, we have some incredibly interesting and even more interesting news, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. Global market infrastructure provider Deutsche Börse Group, Swiss state-owned telecom and ICT firm Swisscom, and Swiss and Singapore-based fintech company Sygnum have entered into a strategic partnership to build out a compliant financial market infrastructure for digital assets. The announcement was announced in a joint press release that happened 2 days ago. The new initiative will reportedly focus on creating a distributed ledger technology-based ecosystem to support the nascent tokenized economy, which the partners contend has the potential to reshape global financial markets. The forthcoming ecosystem will reportedly span compliant digital asset insurance and custody solutions, as well as providing market participants with access to liquidity and banking services. According to the press release, Sygnum has obtained a Swiss banking and securities dealer license from Swiss regulator FINMA and can thus provide comprehensive banking services such as custody, deposit, credit and lending, capital issuance via tokenization, brokerage, and asset management for the initiative. Swisscom will provide the project with the scalable DLT infrastructure it has developed, which reportedly means the security requirements of financial services institutions. The new partnership also reportedly entails Deutsche Börse becoming a shareholder of CustoDigit AG, a company that has jointly founded a Swisscom and Sygnum, which develops technical digital asset custody solutions for regulated financial services institutions. So this is actually huge, and forgive me if I sound a bit not annoyed. Annoyed isn't the right word. It took me 4 attempts to try and actually make this video. My other computer, you may have known if you've been with me for a while, is not doing well. I think it's finally time for me to get a new computer. Anyway. The point is, a lot of people, I think, in the cryptocurrency space don't pay attention to news like this simply because, and I don't mean this in a weird way, this may be a lot of people's first foray into the financial world, and they may be entering it this way simply because of cryptocurrencies. They may not have been around for quite a long amount of time, and this is why I think a lot of times when we get news like this, I think it either goes over people's heads, not to mean it in a bad way, or they simply don't understand the significance of exactly what's happening behind the scenes. When I tell you that cryptocurrencies aren't going anywhere, cryptos aren't going anywhere. And I don't mean like price-wise or stagnation. I mean like cryptos are going to be here for a very, very, very long time. They're being integrated into some of the largest infrastructure and things in the entire world. Part of why sometimes I get a little annoyed is because when we have news that a cryptocurrency is being added to a debit card, or when a cryptocurrency has been mentioned by someone on television, the price will spike up by around 20%. The fact that it's pretty clear right now, it doesn't even have to be me guessing or trying to connect the dots. It's fairly certain when some of the largest market players in the entire world are definitely getting into cryptocurrency, that this is going to be here for a very long time, if not forever, because this is now being made a part of the normal financial structure that we have going around the world. It's still widely believed, no one knows the exact time frame, even if this is going to happen this year or next year or the year after that. We are expecting a major stock market crash, that is the traditional financial stock market, and it appears, at least from my point of view, the way that we are constantly getting this news every single day about these major institutions who are trying to get into the cryptocurrency space, who are praising cryptocurrencies, are making sure that they have new custody solutions. It's fairly certain that it seems like they're trying to, if not hedge their bets, they're already betting heavily on cryptocurrencies and a more digitized, tokenized economy taking the world by storm. Like I said, I think a lot of people, when they hear news like this, they think it's cool. They think it's kind of great. They hear these really weird names and they go, wow, that's cool that they're making something where they're going to have these things. But you have to understand that these are not even just these groups, but the last couple of months, these are some of the largest financial institutions in the entire world, and even some of the names that we may get sometimes in some of the videos, the larger dominoes have already fallen as far as countries accepting cryptocurrencies, hedge funds, mutual funds, pension funds, universities, banks in general coming out in support for cryptocurrencies. They may not say Bitcoin explicitly, but if you read not even between the lines, the things that they're going to be offering is that they're going to be mainly digitizing assets, that is anything that has worth or worth. They're going to be digitizing that and allowing that on their platform. This is also one of the first major European ones that we've had who've announced that they're going to be launching some type of a custody platform, which is something that typically is an issue for many governments around the world as far as who's going to be holding the cryptocurrencies, how are they going to be holding it, who will be responsible in the event that something should happen, should there be a network outage with the bank or the corporation or the company. This is going to be huge, and I want to make it clear to everyone exactly what's happening before our very eyes. We are witnessing not the crumbling of the traditional financial system, it's more of like a really weird acceptance. Like, they have come to the realization, as you all should have at this point as well, that the old traditional financial markets that we have are going to completely crumble. And I think a lot of people should have realized that when we first had a lot of banks who were talking about accepting XRP, when we had clarification that Swift was also trying to create their own tokenized digital platform to send money around the world. This is not going anywhere. And I want to always drive the point home that what we're seeing right now is that eventually, and I think this is the last straw of it. I think we're maybe on a 3-step tier. We're probably around 1.8. 2.0 will probably be when all of these things actually launch, when they're actually completely out there for everyone to use as a custody platform, as a custody so-and-so, as a blah, 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 to be able to digitize what you have or to be able to buy and sell and trade stocks, mutual funds, cryptocurrencies, all within the same platform. I think when these things launch throughout 2019, that's going to be another really major thing. The 3.0 kind of comes rather when we know that we have won and there's kind of no turning back right now, is going to be when banks and institutions start trying to coerce you to deposit your cryptocurrencies onto their platforms, onto their banks. I'm assuming that some of the major names, and I wouldn't be surprised if JP Morgan Chase was one of the first ones to kind of announce, hey, you can now have a crypto bank account. When banks, and I mean major banks or even smaller banks, start announcing that you can deposit your Bitcoin, Ethereum, your XRP, your Litecoin, your blah, blah, blah coin with them, and that they will issue you either a brand new debit card so that you can pay from the crypto that you own, or that they're going to simply link it with your normal bank account. This isn't even like me speculating of where the entire market could go. It's obvious where it is going to go. Like, you don't offer custody solutions only for the very rich. Eventually it has to trickle down, for those who get that, to normal people as well, so that they can also enter the game and enter, which I also think, and I mentioned before in a couple of other videos, I think when we get news like this, it's specifically meant for very rich people to kind of pay attention to exactly what's happening, that they are offering these services to them, that they now have this service that you can join into, that they have this thing so that you can put you and your family's money and so into it. Because I felt for like at least for the last, it has to be since the market started going down and we were talking about this more openly or more frequently, I think that the world elite are, I don't have to think, it's pretty certain when you have major banking institutions like this getting into the space, they're probably trying to, well, we know that they are, accumulate as much cryptocurrencies as possible, but I don't think that normal people, air quotes, will be able to get into, how do I say this? Normally, if you see something, if a bank offers you something, it's because they completely control the market already, and I guess even this could be the 4.0 or the 3.5 of my tiered system, is going to be when banks when you start seeing things at your local bank offering cryptocurrency services. That will mean that the rich people have accumulated as much as they care to at that time, because crypto still isn't something that's being marketed to very everyday normal people. And we started noticing that in 2018 as well. I'm pretty sure you all noticed it when Coinbase was one of the first people to come out and say that their services that they were offering were just for institutional investors. And there was a very big push towards institutional investors around the world. We also have some more news kind of like that as well. It kind of all ties completely into it. I think what they're doing now, my speculation, is that they're making sure that their friends and family all understand where crypto's going. It's news like this that kind of makes you also, like I said, if this is normally people's first time in finance, this is huge, this is major. It won't have any effect on the prices because crypto just doesn't really make any sense at the moment. But Yeah, this is actually incredibly significant news because we have major players in the game all around the world who are announcing on a daily basis. Especially keep in mind that everyone is now announcing their stuff once again in March, and they're all announcing it after Fidelity officially announced that they had launched. We didn't have any news like this before. We had news that it was just going to be Fidelity and maybe one other player, and this is about the 7th one that we have right now who has launched after Fidelity has launched officially. Who are now talking about that they're doing all of these, regulatory compliant thing, and they're also going to have these custody solutions for very rich people in the world. All right, I'm out of breath. Let's move on. Next up, Coinbase is in the news. Coinbase has launched a new feature allowing users to directly transfer cryptocurrency holdings on Coinbase.com to accounts in the firm's wallet app. The San Francisco-based cryptocurrency exchange announced the news in a blog post on Tuesday, saying that users will be able to link their accounts once the app gets updated in the next few days. They said once your Coinbase account is linked, you can easily transfer crypto to your wallet app with just a couple of clicks anytime you need. Coinbase explained that the Coinbase.com account users can buy cryptocurrencies and the exchange itself stores the keys centrally. However, with the wallet app, users safeguard their own private keys. The new feature is optional. After the app update is released, users will receive an in-app notification to connect to Coinbase to link the accounts if they so choose. Here's the thing right here. It also says, what they added to their wallet recently. Coinbase has added a series of new features to the wallet app lately. Last month, the app announced support for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin on both iOS and Android. I mean, it's a step forward. I feel like a lot of the stuff that Coinbase does, they should have done before, but I mean, it's at least they're getting to it. I still report on Coinbase as much as I may not like them. A lot of people do use Coinbase. They're not the worst crypto company that we have out there, and it is nice to see that they're at least trying to make moves, upgrade properly. I don't know exactly what I can even say to that. Let's move on. Here's a very interesting one, and this ties almost directly into kind of the first one. The Central Bank of Russia wants to set an annual limit for so-called unqualified investors that want to purchase digital assets, local business media giant RBC reported on yesterday. According to documents obtained by RBC, the bank wants to amend the current draft crypto bill dubbed On Digital Financial Assets, which recently passed a second of 3 readings in Russia's parliament, the State Duma. The central bank's paper recommends equating investor limits to ones set in a draft bill on crowdfunding, which is also being reviewed by Russian parliament. The head of the State Duma's Committee on Financial Markets, Anatoly Aksakov, told RBC that the threshold will likely be established at around 600,000 rubles or around $9,000, the same as the yearly investment limit in crowdfunding projects. If the parliament passes the bill with the central bank's current recommendations, unqualified investors will still be able to purchase digital assets that were issued within the country, the report notes. Moreover, investors will be allowed to sell or purchase such tokens without intermediaries. The Central Bank of Russia considers an unqualified investor if they have less than 1 year minimum of investment experience. Okay. In order to be considered a qualified investor, one needs to obtain a qualification certificate. That's ridiculous. Given they meet the minimum individual investment time requirements or have at least 2 years of work experience in a company that is considered a qualified investor, but that is absolutely ridiculous to think that you would have to do that to be able to acquire cryptocurrencies. Russia had something like this before, but it seems that they have amended it. They had the term before as unqualified investors in their actual law that they're trying to pass. But before, an unqualified investor was someone, I think, who made less than a certain amount per year. And I think anyone who had, I think, over 5 million invested or something really weird like that, they were completely exempt from this and they could buy as much crypto as they possibly wanted. It appears at the end of this that we are getting closer to seeing exactly how Russia is going to rule crypto, or rather deem crypto in their country. I'm interested to see exactly. I have a I don't know. I wonder exactly how they're going to take this. I'm pretty sure they're not going to allow every cryptocurrency in their country as like a free-for-all. That does not seem the way that Russia and China are very close in economic policy. So I don't think they're going to, China doesn't allow any crypto. Anyway, the point is, I have a feeling that Russia isn't going to allow every crypto in their country at the exact same time. That would be complete madness. I have a feeling they're not going to allow private transaction coins. Definitely, no doubt. They've mentioned before that they want to be able to control or be able to see the transactions for the cryptocurrencies. We have not yet at this time heard any information about the Ripple team opening up shop in Russia. I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. I have a very strange feeling that Russia's probably, my opinion, probably going to announce around 3 to 5 cryptocurrencies that are legal within the country, the same way that Venezuela did, where only it appears that Bitcoin and Litecoin, if I'm not mistaken, are allowed for remittances or transfers through the government within the country. I have a strange feeling Russia's going to do the exact same thing. Whatever they're planning, they're going to make sure that it goes directly through their central bank. I don't think that they'll criminalize the actual usage of cryptocurrencies, but I have a strong feeling that they're going to try and have some type of a centralized location where everything that's happening with cryptocurrencies must pass through them. Once again, keeping in mind that all of this stuff is happening before our very eyes. We now have another country who's trying to make a bill on digital financial assets legal within their country so that they can have it as a normal legal framework under their system. Crypto is going to be very big. I want to... There's a dead horse on the ground, and I'm going to beat it until everyone out there gets it. This is why we have these prices for cryptocurrencies and for Bitcoin around, $500,000 to $1 million. It's because of things like this. It's because of these major banking institutions who are falling over themselves to make sure that they have custody solutions so that you can leave your cryptocurrencies with them. It's going to be very big. There's a reason why every country in the world is talking about this. There's a reason why, yeah, that's pretty much it. Everyone is talking about this because they're trying to desperately make sure that they have set up rules and regulations for people in the cryptocurrency space, because when this does get off the ground, it's going to be absolutely immense. Every country in the world is talking about this. It's not just the US and it's not just Russia. Every country in the world is trying to make some type of a framework for cryptocurrencies, and you have to think, why would they all be doing that unless something really big is going to happen with cryptocurrencies? They're not integrating all of these things into their laws, into their systems. Russia's not talking about integrating Ethereum or writing their laws on top of Ethereum because they expect these systems to die down in 2 years. This is going to be, and I wonder where we'll be as a society, as a world, and also just financially within the next, I want to say even 40 years. I think it's something that we can't even begin to imagine. At that point, everything will be completely digitized. And I wonder what impact financial coins will have on the world. And I wonder even more so, I always wonder, and I'm sure a lot of people do as well, exactly where Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and XRP are going to be. Like, I really wonder, how far they're going to make it and, what's going to happen to them. It's something very, I don't know, something that plays in the back of my head very often. I think they're going to be very huge. I won't give any price predictions, but I think it's going to be absolutely massive. Anyway, let us move on. Next up, Bancor's in the news. Decentralized liquidity network Bancor has launched a wallet for on-chain conversions between Ethereum and EOS tokens, according to a press release that happened yesterday. The new product, called Bancor Wallet, is a non-custodial crypto wallet that is designed to enable on-chain crypto conversions between Ethereum and EOS-based tokens in a single action, the press release reports. The new wallet is based on Bancor's recently launched cross-chain protocol, Bancor X, which allows users to convert between Ethereum and EOS-based tokens without exchanges. Nate Hindman, Bancor's director of communications, told Cointelegraph in a statement that the release of Bancor's unified wallet is expected to pave the way for the integration of blockchains, giving Bitcoin and Tron as examples. There's a really big thing happening in the cryptocurrency space, and I don't think that we're going to get to it properly, officially, out therely, at least for the next 10 years, and that's atomic swaps. To be clear, this is not an atomic swap, but one of the main things that people have been discussing for quite a long amount of time, at least ever since around 2014 that I can remember, is that we're going to live in a world eventually, and this is kind of the argument that we have right now against crypto exchanges, and even more to another extent, decentralized crypto exchanges. The idea is that one day we will be able to open up our phone, open up our smart watch that has our wallets on it, and be able to swap between any coin that we kind of want to. You will no longer have to fly from the US to the UK and have to go to one of those currency transfer places and hand them your US dollars and then simply wait for them to give you back the British pounds with a horrible exchange rate. They usually take 15% of your money. You'll simply be able to swap between these coins back and forth, and this is what a lot of people are trying to do. the end all for this is going to be the atomic swap, where you can simply go into your app and say, I want to pay in this, or I want to swap in that, so and so. And so people think that eventually you won't even have to say that you want to swap. You'll go someplace that only accepts EOS or that only accepts so and so. You'll be able to simply scan your phone or scan your so and so or scan your card or whatever, and it'll simply swap to that coin immediately between it. It's kind of cool. It's nice to see that people are still trying to do these things where these swaps can happen between the coins, conversions, if you will, very rapidly. Like I said, I think we're still in the very beginning stages of this. There was a lot of hype a couple of years ago, especially, I want to say even last year, maybe 2017, being able to do this very quick. We've had atomic swaps between Bitcoin. I think Litecoin has also had atomic swaps. There's been a couple of coins that they have been able to do these with smart contracts. But I think we're very far off from this being like an everyday normal average thing. So this is why up until now, at least for the time being, we will have to rely on crypto exchanges. I mean, it could be worse, but it's still, I mean, kind of cool to think that eventually we won't have to go to these places, or we'll be able to simply swap whenever we wanted to another cryptocurrency. Kind of cool. To kind of finish things off, this one's very weird. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission will kick off its crypto road trip on the 26th of March in San Francisco. The SEC's Strategic Hub for Innovation and Financial Technology, or FinHub, will open its doors from 12 noon to 4 p.m., because why not, to crypto and blockchain entrepreneurs to field questions about how to determine if an instrument is a security and how to handle securities regulations, trading registration, and more. That actually might not be a very bad thing. All of this stuff over, hold on, all of this stuff right here. March 26th will mark the first of the Commission's local peer-to-peer meetings across the U.S., allowing fintech leaders to speak in person with the regulators. The outreach effort is designed to open the lines of communication between regulators and innovators in the digital asset space. Topics will include advisory services related to digital assets trading platforms, digital marketplace financing. The road trip announcement follows recent statements made by the SEC Chief Jay Clayton, who confirms that Ethereum is not a security. He did not do that. If you saw my other video, everyone keeps saying for some reason that Jay Clayton said that Ethereum is no longer a security. He never mentioned the word security. He just agreed with someone else who had a former statement that said that something can start out as a security and then not become one later on. That was the extent of what he said. He never, ever, ever, ever mentioned the word Ethereum. He did not state that Ethereum is no longer a security. So I'm not really sure where that whole thing started. Anyway, the most important thing from all of this is that this is actually one of the very first time that we are going to be able, and I hope that this is actually televised, that someone records this, someone finds a way to give us major news about this, because it appears that this could be a way, because they're trying to, field of questions about how to determine if an instrument is a security. I think myself that the SEC is doing this because we mentioned before, other crypto, first of all, people within the SEC or who had worked with the SEC had said that they assume that the SEC is not going to give anytime soon proper clarification as to exactly which coins are or are not securities, or which falls under their jurisdiction. Is more so going to be a, how do you say this? They'll give us like a framework and say, yeah, this is what we have written down. Figure it out yourself. I think that's what's going to continue, and this is what I think that they're doing here is that people will be able to ask them, I hope, any questions that they have, and that they will simply just give an answer. That would be very great. I don't assume that it's going to be something as cut and dry as, is this coin a security? Is this coin not a security? Because I think they will definitely dance around that topic, but this could be a way for them to kind of not give regulation, but just kind of a some type of a resolution to what we've all been trying to figure out since 2018. We have 13 days until this actually, 13 days until this actually ends up kicking off. Let's hope that we get some type of news. I think that they're doing this because I think that they realize that they've also taken too long. I know that they either planned on announcing that everything was a security and then a whole bunch of people were throwing lawsuits at them, or they have decided that they're going to try and, maybe take Hester Pierce's argument and say that they should lightly touch regulation on cryptocurrencies and kind of see how things kind of boil over. I think, if any, my opinion, I think if XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin, maybe even Tron, I want to say EOS or any of the other major coins had been securities, I think we would have heard about it by now. I mentioned in another video before, we've had at least 15 instances, at least since the last 6 months, where the SEC has been prominently in the news, where they have shut down, what was it like called, OneCoin? They've shut down all these other cryptocurrency projects, whether they were scams or whether they were selling or allowed to have unregistered securities, air quotes, within the United States. They shut them down immediately. None of the top 20 coins have been in the news as having been attacked by or having received information from or having received a letter in the mail from the SEC that they were securities. So, I mean, we'll see exactly how this ends up playing out. Because I'm fairly certain, I mentioned before, if Tron, if EOS, if Litecoin had been a security, if the SEC is strong enough or brazen enough to have attacked, you know, the 80th coin of the coin market cap or the 150th coin, I have a feeling that they wouldn't have had any cripes or problems with attacking a coin that had over a $1 billion market cap. That's kind of my opinion. Anyway, this will be very interesting. We only have a couple of days left. Interesting, once again, the March time frame. Hopefully we get something good out of it. I'm really hoping, like, I actually have my fingers crossed, like, physically right now, because I'm tired of saying the word SEC. I know that they're tired of me talking about them. So let's hope that, you know, that their crypto road trip is actually fruitful and bountiful, and that we get some type of real information from them. I hope that someone, even who's talking to them, I hope that this is once again filmed, just simply says, is this coin a security? Please just tell us so we can kind of move on with our lives. I think that is, I mean, obviously, gonna do it for this video. Like I said, I think I mentioned it earlier in the video, this was my 4th time trying to make this video. I hope it actually worked. I'm very scared, not even joking. It's very annoying when you try to record something or make a video and then it just doesn't work out. One of my other videos, I was more than halfway through with it and the computer completely froze. I reset it. Wow. I reset the computer at least 6 times and it didn't work, and I don't exactly understand what's going on, but luckily I have like a type of a backup. Anyway, that is definitely 1000% going to do it for this video. I hope that all of you enjoyed. I hope that all of you are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever in this crazy world you might be. I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all, every single one of you, once again, for all of your support. I cannot stress that enough. Like, really though. And as always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Crypnotic, there we go, yeah, Crypnotic, Minting Coins, Setsuna, Nicholas, One Earth, One Peace, One Love, Jeffrey Dam, Paxis, Carl Birchenoff, Cody, Jeffrey Ramsey, Richie Rich III, Amy Starsheen, Jeremy Fox, Jared Schneider, Jim Gardner, Crypto Joe, Joey Carafa, Wise Night Owl, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Nick Kanaya, Anthony Charles, Yasha Harari, Travis Haynes, Nick Mangialavori, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Arthur Yaku, L. Doug, Brady Niels, Rai, Gilboa Snake, and Vlad the Impaler. Thank you all very much for your generosity. I do appreciate it more than you even know. Like, you don't even have a proper idea. And yeah, I will talk to you all soon. See you.